Right now we're going to take a look at the women's basketball preview for this year. Last year the Griffins finished up with a 12-11 overall record, and they're going to be losing senior Elena Radinkovic, who was 17th in the conference in scoring and 9th in the conference in field goal percentage. Last season the Griffins were 9th out of 15 teams in the conference in margin of victory and held teams to 39% shooting. They were 34% from behind the three-point arc, and they were just about middle of the pack in rebounding and an assist-to-turnover ratio. The Seton Hill Griffins are led by head coach Fern Labaudy, also assisted by Tony Grenick and Clarice Garcia. This will be their second year in the WVIAC and their first year competing against the WIVIAC full schedule. The Griffins returned 4 of 5 starters from last season, led by sophomore Katie Littner. Littner led all WIVIAC freshmen in points with 12.2 points per game and rebounding at 9.4 points per game. That also was, the 9.4 rebounds per game was also good for first overall in the conference. Also returning is leading scorer from last season, Autumn Himes. Himes averaged 13 points per game for the Griffins and was the main downtown threat from behind the three-point arc. Erica Heights, Jenna Petrini, Ord Farchi also were among the players that saw most of the playing action last year, and they will all return this year. This year's recruiting class was a good one for head coach Fern Labaudy. She brought in freshmen Jill Edinburgh and Jordan Burks, who looked to give the Griffins good minutes off the bench this season. Both were 1,000-point scorers in high school and were also granted with a ton of accolades at their high schools. Ryan Micheletti is also coming in for Fern Labaudy, as she is from Newcastle and led the Red Hurricanes to a Whitfield championship in 2007. Joya Whittington is a shooter from Carbondale High School, where she's also scored over 1,000 points and is also the third leading scorer in school history. All those freshmen will look to give valuable minutes on top of the returning starters and the returning letter winners for the Griffins, and hope to make a charge this year in the WVIAC conference. The Griffins schedule includes 20 WIVIAC conference games, and the non-conference schedule is highlighted by a New Year's Eve matchup against East Regional Powerhouse, California University of Pennsylvania. The season will tip off with the second annual SHU Tip-Off Tournament, which St. Vincent, Penn State Greater Allegheny, and Chowan will make up the field. Seton Hill will also compete in the East Stroudsburg Tournament. And on November 28th will be a special day for the WIVIAC, as the Griffins play host to Pitt Johnstown in their first ever WIVIAC contest. Now we'd like to take a sit down and talk about the season with assistant coach Clarice Garcia. Clarice, thank you for coming. Congratulations on being the newest GA here for the women's basketball team.
Thank you for having me.
So coming in, you know, you're from Villanova. You went and played basketball at a Division I school. Coming in, what was your first impression of the team when you got here?
Well, my first impression, they are a group of very, very hardworking and dedicated student athletes. They came to preseason workouts ready to go every day. They looked good. We worked really hard getting them in shape and getting them ready for the season. So I was really impressed with how hard workers they are. We have a lot of girls with a lot of different things that they can do. So they bring a lot to our program individually, and then when they play together as a team. So they look really good. I was impressed.
So far we know you have a scrimmage against IUP under your belt. You have a lot of practices. So from those two things, what do you have as expectations for the team for this season?
My expectations, it's as you had mentioned before, it's our first year competing with the full WIVIAC conference schedule. So we just expect to go out, go under the radar, if you will, trying to compete as new members of it, and just go out hardworking and take what we've accomplished in the preseason and in our IUP scrimmage, which we did very well against them, and their IUP is ranked 11th in the country. So we came out hard against them, and if we can just build on the preseason, the practices we've had thus far, and our scrimmage, we'll be set. So I expect us to do pretty well if we can get everyone to do what we've taught them and how we've coached them.
Good. I know this is a very young team. Last year the freshmen really got thrown into the fire, having to play early. Do you think that the experience that those freshmen and these sophomores this year are going to have tutoring those freshmen, how do you think these freshmen are going to handle college basketball coming from high school?
I think initially it's hard for anyone to make that transition from high school to collegiate sports in general, but our freshmen, they come to this program with so many things under their belt. We have 3 girls that have scored over 1,000 points each. We have girls that have competed in Whitfield championship games. So they know how to play the game. They know the time commitment. So I know initially it's hard for their workouts, just to be working out for up to 4 hours a day. I know it's hard to balance that with their schoolwork, but they've come in with great time management skills. So I feel that they've made the transition very well, and they're getting used to the college level of play. So we're happy for them.
Now going into this season, we know you have some good players that are going to be on the court, but really what's that X factor that's going to be the difference between you guys going 500 and you guys, being above that 500 mark?
Well, I think our X factor this year, we're implementing a bunch of different things offensively. Like the one offense that we're working on now with the girls, it's an offense that really keeps the ball moving. I know I watched a lot of game tape from last year, and one of our problems was that we just stood around with the ball. So this year we're looking to keep the ball moving. It's a great offense. We can get the girls open shots. So we know we got some scorers, Katie Littner, on times. We got some girls that can put the ball in the hoop. So
yeah,
we're looking to use that to do that.
No, you have an athletic team. Are you going to try and use that to your advantage, both not only offensively but defensively with some pressure defense?
Absolutely. We have options of having a very quick backcourt. We have Uri, we call her T. She's from Israel. She's a very quick guard. Jenna, Erica, who's injured right now. But when she's on the court, those 3 combined with some of the other girls, we have a very quick team. So we're going to look to pressure the ball, then we're also going to look to push the ball. So hopefully use that to our advantage.
I know you looked at some of the statistics from last year, and I'm sure you studied a lot of tape. What is the one thing that has to improve for this team to be the best that they can be?
Hands down, that would be our defense. And we have been working in the preseason and now in our practices just on the obvious boxing out, closing out, forcing to the baseline, not giving up easy shot, contest every shot. Just really working on staying down, keeping your players in front of you. So if we can complement our offense that we're working on with the defense that I know will come eventually, we can have a pretty strong team.
All right, Clarice, well, thank you for coming and joining me today. Good luck on the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll be talking to you soon and with some wins under the belt.
That's right. Thank you for having me.
I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to Griffins Sports Weekly for this week. I'd like to thank my guests, Clarice and Elaine. Also, I would like to thank everyone else who helped out with the show. Jim Heenan, Pete DeSantis, our cameraman, Becca Baker, Molly Rob Shimko, Jason Green, Jess Turner, who does a great job putting our material up on the website with also the Athlete of the Week. And also, I would like everybody to check the athletics webpage for that Athlete of the Week. New nominees will be up hopefully by Wednesday of this week, so you can vote and see who's going to be on this show next week. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and I will see you next week on Griffins Sports Weekly.